Manchester United came from behind to beat Brentford at Old Trafford for the second year in a row in the Premier League, buying Erik Ten Hag some breathing room and ending a run of 5 games without a win. United fell behind in controversial circumstances. In first half stoppage time, Ethan Pinnock headed in a corner, while Matthijs de Ligt was off the pitch receiving treatment for an earlier injury. Ten Hag and Ruud van Nistelrooy were both booked for protesting the decision, but it sparked a response from United, and goals from Alejandro Garnacho and Rasmus Hojlund earned United their 3rd league win of the season. They had come into this fixture on a run of 5 without a win and with Ten Hag under mounting pressure, but their second half performance merited victory. For an hour, this was another disappointing afternoon for Bruno Fernandes. He is struggling to find his rhythm this season and looked like a player who knew almost everything he tried wasn't working. He disdainfully slapped a pass back to Andre Onana from the halfway line late in the first half, causing frustration to tumble from the stands. Fernandes is often wasteful in possession, but that is his game. He tries high-risk passes worth the payoff because his success rate is usually worth it, so it proved just after the hour mark. His cute back heel to Rasmus Hojlund for the Danes' goal was the kind of touch that could have easily gone wrong and been intercepted or had too much on it. Instead, it was perfect, and Hojlund's finish after that was a delight. It was noticeable in the celebrations that Hojlund grabbed Fernandes and pointed to him while facing the crowd. He knows his captain hasn't found it easy of late, and it was a gesture to remind everyone of his class. Erik 10. Hag is usually one to stay relatively calm in his technical area, and it was noticeable that the anger around Brentford's goal was more visible from Ruud van Nistelrooy than Ten Hag. But the latter would have known just how vital this game was. He needed a reaction when faced with another defeat and a 6th game without a win. Samedienstap. That controversial end to the first half sparked it, and when Hojlund completed the comeback, Ten Hag celebrated the goal with more emotion than usual. He jumped up and down on the touchline and sharked a hug with assistant René Huck before a high-five with Van Nistelrooy. You could see how much this win meant to Ten Hag. United, quote, "S frustration at how Brentford took the lead at the end of the first half was obvious, but they only had themselves to blame." Referee Sam Barrett had no option but to order Matthijs de Ligt off the pitch for a 3rd time, with blood still coming out of a cut on his head. The failure to properly fix it on the first 2 occasions proved costly when Ethan Pinnock headed home Mikkel Damsgaard's corner. De Ligt would certainly have done a better job of tracking Pinnock than Diogo Dalot, who lost his man very easily. As much as United tried to blame the officials, the fault lay with a lack of attention to detail that seems to affect every area of the playing side of the club. For a medical team to need 3 attempts to properly patch up a player is poor, and that is why De Ligt wasn't there to defend the corner. It is the kind of carelessness that happens all too often at the moment, but it did at least spark a sense of injustice, and United used that to spark a second half comeback. Hojlund is the most traditional number 9 United have got, but he is still working up his sharpness this season. And there was a moment in the first half when his failure to compete for a ball he should have been holding up caused frustration in the stands. Hojlund has the physical gifts to be competitive in physical duels, but Pinnock found it far too easy to bully him out of the contest and step in and steal possession. It's an area Hojlund has to improve on, and he showed how quickly he can adapt by getting more involved against the same opponent. He produced a couple of smart turns to get United on the attack and grew into the game impressively. He deserved his goal, and the finish was of a player starting to find some form and confidence. As the 2 teams waited for this game to begin, the away end broke out into a chant of "We're going to score in a minute." They've made a habit of that this season. 4 times in 7 games. The Bees had struck inside 75 seconds, but United won the toss to kick off here and came up with a novel way to prevent them from being stung early in the game. Don't give the ball away. Brentford had a couple of touches in the first 75 seconds, but one was a clearance from Nathan Collins and the other a kick downfield from Mark Flecken in goal. Danger averted. When they did get the ball, they did immediately threaten. Brentford's early strikes have come from crosses, and an excellent ball in just after the 2-minute mark should have been converted by Kevin Shade, but Johnny Evans did enough to put him off and United survived. Erik Ten Hag suggested Manchester United use the injustice of Ethan Pinnock's goal to fuel their comeback against Brentford. Pinnock nodded Brentford ahead from a corner in the 5th minute of added time in the first half after Matthijs de Ligt was ordered to go off to have his head injury cleaned. De Ligt had already gone off the pitch twice to have his head tended to by the United medical staff, but blood was still visible when he prepared for Brentford's corner. Ten Hag and Ruud van Nistelrooy were both booked for their protests, and the United manager still felt referee Sam Barrett was wrong to tell de Ligt to head to the touchline as it was dry blood on his crown. It was dry blood, so he was already treated for that injury, Ten Hag said. Just dry blood. No one from us understood why he was sent off. I went over to Matthijs and he said, "It's just dry blood, so I have to come off. I don't know why." It's a huge moment because Brentford is very good at corners when you miss a header and they benefit from it. You are disappointed. It is hypothetical. We will never know if it instigated United's comeback. But definitely we were mad. We were angry at half-time. We had the idea. It was not perfect, but we controlled the game. We didn't concede chances. We created some chances, and then it felt injustice when you concede like we did. He, de Ligt, was okay. That is what he told me. I asked him when he came off, is there a problem? No, he was 100% there, and not at any time was there a doubt to take him off. Alejandro Garnacho equalised within 2 minutes of the restart, and Rasmus Hojlund dinked in the winning goal on 62 minutes to lift United up to 10th in the Premier League table. United have now won as many league games as they have lost, having gone 317 minutes without scoring in the league. Ten Hag remains adamant that goal scoring has been the team's only problem this term. Hojlund has scored in 2 of his 3 starts since recovering from a hamstring injury he sustained in United's first game of their pre-season tour against Arsenal in Los Angeles. Every game you win is important, he reiterated. Again, this team you see the togetherness, the fighting spirit, and today we add some determination to score goals. That is what we need. The stats show we play good football. We come in the right spots, but we don't score enough. We're not clinical enough. But today we scored 2 brilliant goals, and we're very pleased with it. Today. The 2 goals we scored are high quality. We have seen this team has the capacity to score very good goals, and when you score and win, you add some belief, some confidence. That is what we needed. In the start of the season, we had some good performances. You see it also the clean sheets we had. We had enough chances but didn't score enough. And then everyone is negative, disappointed. It can help us, but it is only 1 win and we have to build on this. Pressure is always there. We have to win every game. And when you are 1-0 down, we have to see how we turn it around. We felt some injustice and we used this as fuel for the second half. We increased the tempo, scored 2 great goals. I really enjoyed the performance, especially the second half. The last block of games. We didn't win enough, but we only lost 1 game, and that was when we were downsized to 10. And afterwards, everyone agreed that we shouldn't have been downsized to 10. So the only thing we had to do was score goals. We were getting in the right spots, bringing the ball up there, get the right positions, but we're not clinical and determined enough. If we do this, we will win games. What didn't help was Rasmus Hojlund was injured at the start of the season, but now he is back. We have enough players with scoring abilities, and today we scored 2 great goals. Hopefully that gives confidence to the players that they can do it.